and I actually ended up selling it for $103 within a day of having it listed. I actually ended up selling this one within a day for $90. Hey friends, so today is my personal favorite day of the week. It's the day that I get to go sourcing, so I'm gonna go to Goodwill and I'm hoping to hit up 2 different stores, and as always, I'm gonna take you guys with me so we can find treasures to sell online. I'll see you guys in there. Let's go. Alright guys, so full disclosure, this haul is really good, so stay tuned. But first, I've been waiting for this all day. I've never had matcha before, and just recently I tried it and now I'm obsessed. That's so good. Alright you guys, so like I said, this is a really good haul and I have so much stuff that I found, so I'm going to try and go through a little quickly, but I'm really excited to show you what we found. So as always, I went straight to the shoes where I found these loafers, and right away I grabbed them just because it was really high quality leather and also the style is very trendy right now. I'm really happy I did because the brand is actually called Bernardo, and I've never heard of this brand, but when I looked up comps, brand new, they retail between $150 to $250, and they're sold at places like Anthropologie, Garnet Hill, Saks Fifth Avenue, and so really exciting find. And I saw comps for this exact pair of loafers between $90 to $190. Definitely a big gap there, but I'm gonna price mine at $150 and cross my fingers. But like I've said before, chunky loafers are really popular, so if you find a pair that looks similar to this style, I would definitely look it up because they are selling so fast and really well. Then I found a pair of cowboy boots, and anytime that I find cowboy boots, if they're reasonably priced at the thrift store, I always look them up just because some cowboy boots go for a lot of money. I mean, $100 to $200 depending on the brand and style that you find. This was a Nude Me brand. It was called Abilene, but I looked it up and the sell-through rate was really good. They weren't selling for a ton of money, but they were selling between $50 to $60. So I priced mine around that price point, and then I actually sold to an offer to likers using my PrimeLister Poshmark automation tool for $45 within just a day of being listed. And if you guys are interested in PrimeLister, I do have a 30% off your first month if you use my link down in the description below. Vince Camuto isn't a brand that I typically pick up unless it's like a knee-high riding boot, but I did get these because it's the signature Vince Camuto line, which is more expensive and higher quality, and typically they're made in Brazil, and when I looked it up, they were actually performing really well, so I should be able to sell these for around $60. Another Nude Me brand, it is called Fratelli, and these just instantly caught my eye just because they look really nice and very high quality. I love the fact that it's this blue leather. They also have this square toe, and when I looked up comps, depending on the style, they were selling between $50 to $100, and for this particular style, I'm gonna list mine at $70. Here's a nice pair of New Balance sneakers, and these ones are the Fresh Foam edition. They only had them marked up to $10, so I did snag them, and these should go for about $45 pre-owned. How cute are these Nike Airs? I thought they were so fun with how they're multicolored. They have like the pink, the yellow, and the green. And when I looked up comps, I should be able to sell these for around $50. I've only ever found this brand before in sandals, and it's Jack Rogers, and these boots probably retailed for around $190, and they were marked up to $10 at the Goodwill, so I definitely snagged them. They're in really great condition too. They look like they're almost new, and I should be able to resell these for around $50 to $60. As always, I had to snag something for my husband, and these were a pair of Hokas, and they're actually 100% merino wool, which I didn't even know that they made wool shoes, so that was pretty cool. And I also found a pair of New Balance Fresh Foams for him too, so he's nice and spoiled now. This is actually a hat that I ended up snagging for myself, and right now it's negative degrees here where I live, so I needed a hat. I didn't have one, and this one was made out of alpaca and merino wool, and I really love the pom-pom on top. I just thought this was really cute. So at my store, the shoes and the purses are right next to each other, and I do try to look through the purses every time I go. Normally I don't find anything there, but there are some times where I find some really good stuff, and today I found 3 purses. This one is from the brand Maruka. That doesn't sound right. Maruka sounds better. This one is from the brand Maruka. It's actually handmade in Boulder, Colorado, which is always a great indicator if it's handmade and in the US that it's going to be something high quality. But I just thought this was very fun, very boho, hippie. I love it's almost like a metallic color. I don't know if it's showing up very well, but It's this really pretty floral crossbody purse, and when I looked up comps, they were selling around $50. I priced mine at $45, and already it has quite a few watchers. This one is from Brighton, which is a really great brand, but I didn't even pick it up based on the brand at first. I was instantly drawn to it just because of the style. This is definitely Y2K, very on trend right now. It has like the little bow, the scalloping detail, it's leather, really high quality, and the brand is really well known as well. So I should be able to sell this for around $50 to $60. This doesn't look like anything special, but I could tell that it was really high quality leather. It just feels really nice, and it's actually from the brand Gun Totin' Mama. I knew that that just sounded really interesting, and so when I looked it up, they actually had over 100% sell-through rate, and they were going between $50 to $60 depending on the style. This style was really popular too, so you have like a zipper, and then it has like a Velcro, so you can put your concealed carry in there. And I'm gonna price mine around $60. So I've been reselling for 6 years, and this is the first time that I found a pair of 7 For All Mankind dojo jeans. I was really excited, and these are low-rise. They obviously have the 7 on the back. They are flare-legged, and I've seen some other resellers say that they're not really like a bolo anymore, or that they're kind of going downhill. But when I looked up comps for this exact style and size, they were selling between $80 to $90 pre-owned. So, I mean, that's kind of a bolo to me. So these jeans are from BDG, and that's actually from Urban Outfitters. I don't normally pick up this brand, but I did get these because they are the 90s boot cut, which is a really popular style right now. They also have this like embroidered stitching throughout the whole thing, and when I looked up comps, they were going around $50. Right when I saw this sleeve with all the other shirts, I was really hoping that it was going to be Jam's World, and it was. I absolutely love whenever I find this brand. It performs really well, especially in their shirts and their dresses. And this is a vintage piece from them, but they do still currently make current pieces, and they're based out of Hawaii, so all their stuff is kind of very tropical, very like unique and colorful. And this one is just a really nice button down, bold and colorful shirt. I love this one. And when I looked up comps, they were going around $60 to $70. This one was kind of funny because I had actually been to this Goodwill like 2 weeks ago, and I picked up this exact jacket from Cabby in the same exact size, extra small, and I actually listed that one, and it sold within a day for $50. So I was very excited to see the exact same one there again, and I definitely picked it up, obviously, and I actually already ended up selling this one too for $50. I have to ship this out today, but right now, corduroy jackets are really popular, so if you find something that's corduroy and it looks nice and it's a great brand, I would definitely pick it up. Yay! Hey! This is from the brand Sea Salt in Cornwall, and when I looked it up, they were reselling between $40 to $50 depending on the style. This one is merino wool, really nice burnt orange cardigan, and I'm gonna price mine at $45. Anytime I find this brand, I always pick it up, and I'm not going to try and pronounce the name because I'm going to butcher it, but I will post a picture up on the screen. This brand performs really well. It always sells really quick and for a good amount of money. It's known for like very lagging look, boho pieces. This one is organic linen. It has this like really unique lime green stripes on one side, and I'm going to price this cardigan for around $45. Another great find, and it's from the brand Allen Michaels. This is 100% new wool, and it's this really nice chunky oversized cardigan, and this definitely looks kind of like a Scottish Ireland kind of style. And when I looked up comps, they were performing really well, and I snagged this, and I actually ended up selling it for, let me see, I actually ended up selling this one for $40 within just 2 days of having it listed. So I have to actually ship this one out today too. I got this one because it's a vintage piece from the brand Lee, and this one is actually a shacket, so it's a shirt and jacket. It's also denim and jean, which shackets right now are really popular and jean jackets are popular, and this is definitely like 90s. This makes me think of like Western, cowboy, and I should be able to sell this for around $40. I actually watched a lady put this vest on the go back rack, and so I instantly went over there to go check to see what it was because I could tell that it was something high quality, and I'm happy I did because the brand is called Indiva, which I've never heard of before. I don't know if you guys have, but I knew I needed to look it up when I did see it because it had the logo in 5 different spots on the vest, which is always a really great indicator that it's a high quality item. And this brand was really expensive, brand new, and it was performing really well, and so I was really excited to find this vest, and I actually ended up selling it for $103 within a day of having it listed. Then in the men's section, I found another great vest, and it was from the brand Barbour, which I've only ever found a few times, but anytime I find it, it sells really quick. And this was just a really nice, like almost like old money kind of hunter vest, and I actually ended up selling this one within a day for $90. Like I always say in all my other videos, if I find anything that's unique or different, I always look it up, and that was the case for this jacket. This is from the brand Milwaukee. I've never heard of it before, but I looked it up just because I could feel that there was a battery pack in here, and then I could also feel that there was wires throughout the whole jacket. And when I looked at it even closer, there was like a plug-in in the pocket. And I looked it up online, and it's actually a self-heating jacket. So you plug it in and then it heats up for you when you're on the go, which I thought was really cool. Somebody could use this when they're camping or hunting or if they work outside. Just a really neat idea. And this exact jacket pre-owned was selling between $100 to $200. Mine actually had some flaws, and it also didn't have the battery with it, which I did disclose in the title and in my listing. But even with the flaws and missing the battery, I still sold this for $100 within just a couple days of having it listed. So Woolrich is a brand that does perform well for me, especially if it's in the men's department, which this one was. This one is a men's large, and it's 100% wool. It's this really nice button-up shacket, so a shirt and jacket. Also, it's this nice classic plaid print, and I looked up comps, and I should be able to sell this for around $50. Oh, I was so excited when I found this. So I've never found this brand before. It's Filson, but I've definitely heard of it, and it's very expensive, brand new. This is a really nice flannel button-up shirt. It is a women's medium, and comps for this brand and this style, we're going for around $50. So super exciting. I don't normally pick up blankets, but I did get this one because I thought this was so beautiful, and I love the fact that the flowers are 3D. Isn't that pretty? But somebody really took a lot of time to make this, and I'm gonna hope to sell this for around $60. All right, so this one has a little side story. So when I found the Barbour vest, I looked down the way and I could see that there was another vest down the same aisle, and it looked like it was really high quality too. So I was making my way over to it, but before I could get it, another lady grabbed it. And at first I was kind of like having a little pity party. Like I was like, oh no, I'm so bummed out that I missed it. I wish I would have grabbed it sooner. And I could tell it was something high quality. And like I said, like a little pity party. And then I just thought, you know what, I'm being so selfish. She deserves to find it too. I hope that her husband love it. And then I just kind of went on with my shopping. I didn't think about it again. And then a half an hour later, I look up and I see her putting it back on the go back rack. So I went over to go see what it was, and I'm so happy I did because it's from the brand Flint and Tinder, which if you don't know, this brand is really just a great brand to find. It resells really well for a good amount of money and really quick too. This one is actually a men's extra large, and when I looked up their vests, they had over 100% sell-through rate, and they were selling for around $150. So here's another newbie brand, and it's called La Ligny. I'm not saying that right, I'm sorry, but I looked this up just because the label is tacked on, and then it's also made in New York, which are two great indicators that it's going to be something expensive. And I'm really happy I looked this up because I think brand new this was like $130, just this like long sleeve striped t-shirt, and I actually ended up selling this for $55 within just a couple days of having it listed. So another item that I have to ship out today. Then from there I moved over to dresses, where I found this Millie dress, which Millie doesn't perform as well as it used to, especially like their older labels, but this is actually a new label, and it was new with tags. And originally this dress was $540, which is crazy. It's silk, it's a fit and flare style, and it also has this metallic kind of shimmer lace throughout it. I should be able to get around $100 for this. I listed it, and within an hour I got an offer, but it was kind of low, so I'm gonna hold out for around $80 to $90. If you watch my channel, you know that I'm really enjoying picking up vintage pieces right now, especially vintage 90s and Y2K. This one is definitely a vintage 90s dress. I love this one. I actually ended up bringing it home, washing it, and then I wore it the next day with like a long sleeve white turtleneck, and I thought it was so cute. It's from the brand Cynthia Max, but I did just pick this up based on the style. I love the fact that it has like these buttons that look like shells, and then the whole side is buttoned down. You can also tie the back to fit to your body better. It's this really classic overall dress, and it definitely makes me think of like Phoebe from Friends. I should be able to sell this for around $50. Another great vintage piece, and it's from the brand April Cornell, which is actually a really good vintage brand to look out for. I found it before and I've sold it for a good amount of money, and it typically sells really quick too. This one definitely looks kind of like a prairie style dress, and I should be able to sell this for around $45, maybe $50. So another vintage overall dress, and again, this one makes me think of Phoebe from Friends. I love the fact that it has this flower and then the embroidery around the side, and even the buttons are like cute flowers. This one is from the brand Cynthia and Banks, and it's actually linen and cotton, and I should be able to sell this one for $50 too. I think actually all the dresses that I found at the store were vintage except for the Millie. So another vintage item, and it is from the brand Eddie Bauer, and their vintage dresses do really well. This is actually a long sleeve maxi length corduroy dress, and when I looked up comps, they were going around $80. I didn't just find one Eddie Bauer vintage dress, I found two, and this one is this chambray denim shirt dress. So the whole thing is buttoned down, it has this pin tucking on the front, and again, when I looked up comps, this should go for around $80. Alright you guys, so this is my favorite find of the day, and it's this 90s vintage dress from the brand Scene, and I'm absolutely just in love with this. I think it is so stunning. The whole thing is beaded. It's 100% silk, and it is this beautiful like iridescent pink and purple color. I want to go back in time and go to prom and wear this. This is so beautiful. I should be able to sell this for around $150 to $200. Alright guys, I'm all done, and I was only planning on going there for like 2 to 3 hours, and then I ended up being there for 5 hours. A lot longer than expected. I'm gonna go get a coffee, and then I am gonna hit up one more store. I think overall at that one, my favorite items were the men's vests, and then I got some really great shoes and some beautiful dresses. Right now I'm already feeling very lucky, and I'm excited to see what else we find. So at the second store, I went straight to the shoes as always, and I found these really neat, just like platform chunky sandal heels, and I love the fact that it's a wood heel, which is very popular right now. It's from the brand 5 Worlds. When I looked it up, they sell them at Anthropologie, and I should be able to sell these for around $70. Then I found a pair of vintage Oxford heeled loafers, which I've talked about before, very popular style. This one is from the brand Mud, and I should be able to sell these for $45. Here we have Eileen Fisher, and this one is an oversized shacket. It is also 100% organic linen, and comps had them going for about $50. Another great vintage find, and it's from the brand Gap. I love the fact that it's uncut corduroy. It's also a long trench coat, which are two really great factors right now, and I'm gonna price mine at $50. Here's a really nice wool vest, and it's from the brand Wyoming Trader, and I looked up comps, and they had over 100% sell-through rate, and they were going for around $50 to $60. Keywords that I would put for this would be cowboy, western, and Yellowstone. I love to find LL Bean, especially their vintage pieces, which this one was, and it has this really nice underlining that's 100% wool. It's also plaid, and it feels like a rain jacket material. When I looked up comps, they were going for around $70 to $80, so I feel like this was a really good find. Everlane for me is definitely a brand that I'm kind of pulling away from. It's not performing as well as it used to, but I did get this one because it's a jacket and it's a cargo jacket, which I feel like their jackets and their blazers still perform well. So I got this and I should be able to sell it between $40 to $45. Alright you guys, so I picked this one based on the style. The brand is called Babette. But this one is a vintage piece and it had a lot of factors going for it. It's this long trench coat. It also has this fleece inner lining, and then it's also iridescent, which I've talked about before in my other videos. Iridescent pieces are really popular and very sought after. That just means that it has a two-tone coloring. So when you move it, it looks brown, and then when you move it a different way, it looks black. I don't know if it's coming up very well on the camera. When I looked at this jacket and with these combined factors, I should sell this for around $50. Another jacket from LL Bean, but this one is a current piece from them, and it's also a 1X, which is great. And it's this really nice winter jacket with like a hood and fleece inner lining. When I looked up comps for this, they were performing really well, and I'm gonna price mine at $70. I just thought this was really cute. It's this vintage sweater from Walt Disney, and it has like Mickey Mouse on it, and it says Disneyland. I shouldn't be able to get too much, maybe around $30 to $35, but it was just too cute to leave. Then I ended up finding a Winnie the Pooh sweater that said group hug, and I ended up keeping that because I'm like a huge Winnie the Pooh fan. That was like my all-time favorite show to watch when I was a kid. I would just watch them on repeat, so that's staying with me. But if I did decide to sell it, I saw some going for around $40 to $45. Another piece from Everlane, and I did end up picking this one up just because I love the lime green coloring and the fact that it's just this really nice chunky cardigan, very classic and timeless staple piece. And I actually ended up listing this, and it sold for $45 within a couple days. So another item that I have to ship out today. Another really great vintage brand to look out for is Diesel, and this is just a really nice military button-up jacket. It definitely makes me think Y2K, 90s, and even steampunk, and I'm gonna price mine at $50. So if you watch my other videos, you know that I find this brand all the time, and I love picking it up. It sells really well, and it's from the brand Title IX. This brand is just really nice for like outdoorsy wear, hiking, camping, and this is a really nice zip-up jacket that should go for around $45. I'm really enjoying picking up denim jackets right now, and I ended up finding two, and they were both from Duluth Trading Company, which this brand is actually really expensive, brand new. This one is a really classic blue denim jacket, and then I found this black moto style zip up jacket from them, and I'm gonna price them each at $45. Here we have cardigan, and like I've said before, I find this brand all the time, but I don't typically pick it up unless it's a really good piece, just because it's really saturated and they just don't perform like they used to. I ended up getting this one though because it's a very classic oversized striped cardigan, and I'm happy I did because it actually ended up selling within just 2 hours for $27 from an offer to likers using my PrimeLister Poshmark animation tool. So really excited with this fast flip. Another beautiful vintage dress, and it's from Coldwater Creek. I absolutely love the fact that it has this draped cowl neck, which very popular style. It's also this slip silhouette. It has this burnout velvet, and I'm gonna price mine at $50. All right, you guys, I'm home, and I ended up shopping a total of 9 hours. I feel very tired now, but also very blessed because I found so many wonderful things, and I'm really happy that you guys came with me. But as always, if you think I earned a like on this video or your subscription, I would really appreciate that. But either way, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, friends.